Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has been way too long. I'm Diana Falzone. This is the Diana Falzone Show on Paltalk. We are returning to our usual time slot. There was a lot of back and forth what we were going to do, but I am here now at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and will continue to be here every Thursday. Some very exciting news. I used to be a talk show host on Maxim Radio on Sirius XM, but since the new year, I have now taken on a new job as a talk show host for Cosmopolitan Sirius XM, and that new show is Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and also be sure to check out FoxNewsIMag.com, where I will have a new show called Date Night with Diana, and that is going to be airing, I believe, on Fridays at 8 p.m. EST, but we'll continue to talk about that. But for all of you out there, if you don't have mics, don't fret. I want to hear from you, so please type in. Also, if you do have mics and want to hear those voices, because I have missed you. I have brought in one of my closest friends, a girl who I go to for every styled event. She knows fashion like I know dating and relationships. Allison Stewart from StyleWhipped.com and Running with Heels. If you're in front of your computers, which you are, go and Google those things. Go look them up and write Allison all of your style questions. Welcome.
Hi, honey. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's always good to hang out with you.
It is. They're always fun.
Yeah, whether it's in front of just, your sister and your friends or my friends or pretty much the international audience. We are talking today about how to impress on a date, whether it's a first date, a fifth date. It is really important how you present yourself. Looks aren't everything, but appearance is about putting yourself together neatly and presenting what you want people to know of you. If you're a rocker chick, then do it up,
Absolutely.
But if you're somebody who's maybe a little preppy and conservative, that's fine too. But you don't, I think, on a first date want to be something you're not.
Absolutely. I think that you want to stay true to yourself only because you'll be more comfortable physically.
Right.
You're not going to be fussing and fidgeting with your clothes, and you're not going to think that you're trying to be someone you're not. So you'll be able to concentrate on the conversation, which is obviously the most important thing on a first date.
Right.
And being able to be yourself and let your personality shine through. I always tell people not to go for anything like overly fussy with too much stuff kind of around their neck or dresses that are really, really long or things that you're going to trip on.
The fussy thing's good because I remember going on a first date and the top I wore didn't fit really. It was like ill-fitting on the top and the shoulders kept coming, coming down, and I kept re-pulling and pulling and pulling, and I ended up being in a relationship with this person for about 18 months, and he said to me, "I'll never forget on the first date, you were so nervous. You kept playing with your shirt."
Right.
I said, "Oh, was it nervous?"
No.
Shirt didn't fit.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It can be misconstrued as totally different things.
Right.
People can think you're nervous. They can think you're drunk. They can think...
You think you're drunk?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Are
if
we
your
drunk
top
right
keeps
now?
falling down, you don't notice. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's so many things that people can misinterpret. So you want your clothes to sort of take a back seat to your personality and your sense of humor and how you're going to be able to have a conversation.
Is it okay, is it appropriate to ask the person that, if you're a female and you're assuming the guy's planning the date, which if you ask the girl out, you are planning the date.
You're planning the date.
Remember that, okay? I don't like the guys who are like, so we're going out tonight at 7:30. What do you want to do? It's like, no, have a plan the day before. Make the reservations. Put a little bit of the 5-minute legwork into that date. But let's say you do have the date plan. You do know where you're going to go. Is it right for you to say, what restaurant are we going to, so you can go look up online what the dress code is?
Absolutely. I actually would take it one step further beyond just the website. I would actually call the hostess of the restaurant.
Okay.
And ask if there's a dress code. Ask if guys are required to wear jackets because, to be honest, your date might not even know that. You might want to give him a heads up.
That's true.
And if the dates are required to wear a jacket, I would definitely stay away from the jeans. I would wear a dress. I would wear heels. Do it up a little bit so that you don't feel like the little kid in the restaurant either.
Okay, exactly. You don't want to be the people in the jeans because that's always embarrassing. I've definitely done it where I've been where I've been the one that feels like, oh my gosh, are we in college still?
Right. I mean,
like,
I always tell everybody, no matter if they're going on a first date or if they're going to an event or whatever, and I've told you this, that it's always the better to be the one that's more dressed up. It's always best to be the adult.
So that's not the fashion faux pas to be, like, if everyone else is in, casual attire and you're a little bit more dressed up, that's not...
Much better than being the one who, everyone else is in a little cocktail dress and you're wearing jeans and a tank top.
Okay, we do
Always
have
better.
a question, I believe,
Great.
from Jeff in Portland. Sunny, do we have Jeff? By the way, hi, Sunny.
Yes, you do. I just moved here from Michigan. And I'm Gary's friend.
Okay.
And in Portland, they usually wear blue jeans. Is that a good idea to wear blue jeans at a restaurant? That's required here in Portland, Oregon. And I'm Gary's friend from Michigan.
Okay.
Gary knows who I am.
If you're a friend of Gary's, you are a friend of ours for sure. I think it depends upon, Allison, this is your question.
Yeah, it totally depends on the restaurant. If you're going somewhere that's a little bit more formal, I would definitely replace the blue jeans maybe with a pair of dress slacks. And if you're really a blue jeans kind of guy, and, Portland's a little bit more of a casual city than New York is for sure.
Right.
But you could also replace your everyday sort of, maybe washed out a little bit baggy jeans, replace them with a pair of darker wash, a little bit more formal jeans, so that you don't necessarily have to feel like you're not yourself and not wear jeans, but maybe just wear them a little bit fancier.
Right, and for women that also are not comfortable in skirts or, something like that, I think jeans are a viable option.
Absolutely. Just, again, go dark, go as formal as you can, stay away from, fraying and whiskering
Right.
and all that fancy stuff. Yeah.
Right. Gary in New York. Hi, Gary, stranger.
Hey, I am a friend of Gary as well. Hey, listen, I want to ask you something, Allison, just slightly off topic. When a new president and his first lady take office, they set a style in Washington, D.C. I'm sure you